Hey guys, before we get into this video, I just want to say at the top that ultimately the Too Long Didn't Watch, I wouldn't have done the sponsorship if I had known what I know. I should have done more research into established titles. I'm going to go into whether I think they're a scam or not in this video, but I really just wanted to say I'm sorry. I usually do a lot more research into what I'm looking at, and I didn't with them. There's reasons for that, but ultimately I dropped the ball. So anyway, with that out of the way, let's get into the video. Sorry for the bad quality, guys. I am still working to get my computer back to operational status, and it is a pain. I'm having to use the webcam versus the good camera, so this is what we're going to make do with. I've gotten quite a few requests to discuss established titles, a sponsorship I did, and follow up on the community post that I had done after that. Really, there are two pieces that I want to discuss, at least from me. I'm not going to go into this big in-depth analysis. That's not this channel. And I don't think it's really worth anything. The first thing I want to go over is whether established titles is a scam. The second thing I want to go over is if I ever got paid for the one sponsorship I did, which was and is maybe looking a little dicey. If you're watching this, you likely saw the other video by the one creator. I'll put it up somewhere here, play a little piece of it, or just show it so that you guys know what I'm referring to. The first video that the guy did was pretty decent, though I have some issues with it. The second one was garbage, in my opinion. Well, it doesn't matter if he was right or not. It's whether they're a scam because it was on my channel. The question is, do you own land? Are you a lord or lady? And are trees being planted? Before I continue, I want to actually show you guys a document that I have. Now, when I started doing research, it looked like they had actually reached out to me in September. That was before his video was ever done. In September, I received this document, and I'll show it on the screen. Now, as you can see, this is the original version. It hasn't been updated, hasn't been changed or anything like that since I received it in September. So the question is, were they telling the truth, or were they at least giving advisements to creators before the video ever went live? And is it just YouTubers not knowing how to read that caused the issue? As you can see, what it clearly states is that being a lord or lady is based on a tradition. It's not real. You can put it on documents that allow you to have prefixes, but it can't go on things like driver's licenses or birth certificates, and you're not a part of any actual royal family. They go out of their way to point that out. So it's pretty clear it never really gave a real lord or lady, at least as early as September. So if anyone said that, that would be on the YouTuber or the Facebook or TikTok persona. One of the things that is misleading, I think, from the sponsor is it says that we plant trees. Now, specifically, they plant trees globally, not just in Scotland. That's a little deceptive. One of the reasons I wouldn't do the sponsorship, even if they hadn't used the we, but they do go out of their way to make it seem like, well, Established Titles is doing it, when they're not. They are donating money. Trees are being planted on behalf of Established Titles, but maybe let's not say we, since they're not doing it. The other piece I really don't like that seems deceptive is that, well, you don't actually own land. Now, I never thought that it was like an important thing that you owned like a 1 foot by 1 foot piece of land. Obviously, you can't do anything with that. So I never really thought that it was actually a big thing or anything that was really worth anything. But I thought it was cool that you would have like a piece of Scotland that you owned, like a piece of land. Never really thought that through because there would be tax implications. Ultimately, you don't own the land. It's kind of like a star, name a star or whatever. They own the land and they're like, this plot is in your name and we take that very seriously. I feel like that was pretty deceptive. I couldn't find anything that was given to creators that told you that you don't own the land. It's inferred that way, and I think that's wrong. I really do. Now, whether they did it on purpose or not, I don't know. I tend to lean that they were not doing this on purpose, that it was negligence. That's my opinion. So let's go on to the next piece, whereas I may not be getting paid for the sponsorship that I did. I'm not going to show the emails, so you can take my word for it or not, but effectively what occurred is after I did my first sponsorship, people started saying stuff. I did a post. I was doing some research. I reached out to them. I was like, hey, I've been doing some research on this specific sponsor because it's done through a marketing company. And I'm not sure that I want to, do another one. And if they want a refund, we can definitely do that. Now, when I said refund, I meant for the second one, not the first, but I didn't say that. I didn't clarify that. But I went on to ask, can you give me some clarifications? At that point, the response was, hey, we're just going to cancel the spot. And that's it. That's all I got. Now, if you're a person who just received that email, how would you take that? Probably would take that the spot is canceled, that you're not getting paid. I did a tweet, which established titles never addressed. Go customer service for established titles. And I reached back out to the marketing company once they sent a more official email. So after that, they sent a more official email saying established titles is great. They never really scam. They do want to use you again, but for now, we're canceling any future sponsorships. So I responded like, hey, am I actually getting paid for this? The answer to that was, yeah, we'll get paid. He reached out to 2 other people to talk with me. They've never talked with me. An interesting piece is, for those who have been keeping up with this on my side, I've had a really rough year. It has been a year. Next year is going to be a year of rebuilding and looking at mistakes and getting my life back in order. It's going to be a good year. I missed a couple of things when it comes to the requirements of that sponsorship. Now, they said they were going to pay me, but in theory, they could technically say that I missed a couple of things. I didn't do the sponsorship exactly correctly, that I didn't give them time to review a draft, etc., etc. Because again, I was being rushed because I just got the computer back to working and I had 3 days to put this sponsorship out. But as of the upload of this video, I haven't gotten paid. When I look at their board, it says there's some errors and I don't know if I am getting paid. If they don't want to pay me, that's fine, because on a technicality they can. I did not completely do the sponsorship as requested. I don't feel like that's why they're not going to pay me, though, if they don't. If they don't, that's somewhat on the marketing company, but I think it's established titles too. I don't know. We'll just have to see. At the end of the day, all this to say, I would not have done established titles if I had done my research. I don't know that it's a scam. I do know that it is shady, that they have not been completely upfront. They have the YouTubers and the people, the influencers is the word I'm looking for. The influencers do is not completely forthwith. Like, they don't address important things, like you don't own land in Scotland. I'm sorry, I live in the United States. I didn't know about this law where I can't own a 1 foot by 1 foot piece of land. I don't think it's as big a deal, but I do think you need to say that. Anyway, those are my thoughts. That's what happened. Wouldn't have done it. I sincerely apologize because I gave you a product that I don't think was worth anything. And even as a novelty product, it's fine as a novelty product, but it just, you needed to be more aware of what you were getting. And that was my mistake. And I'll commit to doing better. Anyway, so that's all I got to say. I definitely apologize, guys.